is Wednesday, June 12th, y'all. So today we are going to talk about self-care, self-love, and I have with me my guest is Miss Brittany Johnson. I'm going to let her tell y'all about all her credentials and letters behind her name. I'm going to let her tell y'all all that tea. But real quick, y'all, this is our second episode on self-care, self-love, mental health, and we're going to talk about some tips and things that are good for us women and our black community to do for self-care, self-love, and bring some awareness. But we're also going to talk about Miss Brittany's book. She is a self-published author. Get Out of Your Own Way, 21 Days to Stop Self-Sabotage. Y'all see my face, right? I know we got that. So we gonna talk about it. So, thank you for joining me today, Miss Brittany.
Thank you for having me.
All right, girl. Now, I'll tell them all about them credentials, honey.
So, my name is Brittany A. Johnson. I am a licensed mental health counselor. I have a private practice over in New Albany, Indiana. So, if you come across the water, you can find me there. I'm also a certified trauma therapist. I'm also, as she just said, author of a book called Get Out of Your Own Way, 21 Days to Stop Self-Sabotage. And so that's kind of the gist of who I am. I love to get out and speak to the community about all things related to mental health. Self-care definitely and self-love are near and dear to me. So this is right on time that this kind of worked out. So yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you. Okay, so last time we talked about this topic, we kind of got into some of the stigmas of mental health. That was more of the focus, was talking about mental health, about bullying, things that were happening in our community at the time. So this time I wanted to kind of shift the focus a little bit because I want to make a series out of this particular topic. So definitely would love to have you come again.
Anytime.
Because we definitely are going to try to talk about some different things in the realm. Because it's a huge thing, you know, like we were having a conversation that some people, there's a label for things and people have a idea of, they think that that's just what it is and it really isn't.
Okay.
So first, let me ask you, what are your thought processes on the black community and mental health and seeking mental health help?
So we are doing a lot better than we were 2 years ago. I will definitely say that we still have a ways to go in terms of recognizing that things are mental health related as opposed to someone's just being them or just being, you know, that cliche crazy. We definitely, like I said, we have a ways to go. I have noticed a nice shift with celebrities being open and talking about their mental health issues and things that they've experienced. And then, as we noticed, Taraji P. Henson just came out with this great movement about bullying and about suicide and just about mental health in the black community as a whole. So I think we're doing good, but we definitely have a lot more ground to cover in terms of just talking about it in normal conversations and not making it something that you just kind of, you know, keep a secret. I always say mental health, especially in the black community, is not a casserole dish illness. You know, when someone gets cancer or when someone has surgery, we take a casserole over and we sit with them and we, you know, comfort them. But when someone says they're having a mental health issue or crisis, everybody flees. Nobody comes. So that's something I definitely think we got to continue to do a better job of.
Okay. So my take from what you just said, because I'm no way professional, was that we need to rally around our community and our people who say, I'm not okay.
Yes. And we have to stop saying get over it. If we don't do anything else for the rest of 2019, we have to stop saying get over it. Pull yourself up. Other people have it worse. If nothing else, we got to stop saying that.
Makes sense to me, because, yeah, that's kind of atypical, unfortunately, I think. Okay, so let's talk about your book real quick, and then we're going to get into the topic. So, when did you write this?
So, I wrote this book last year, at the end of the year. I was looking for ways to be in the community more, and so I talked to a few people, and they were like, why don't you write a book? Like, you know, you're always helping people, you're always giving out a good word, kind of on a one-on-one basis. So I sat down and was going to write about anxiety because that's what I specialize in. So most of the clients that come see me have an anxiety disorder. And so as I sat down to start writing about anxiety, I kept stopping. And when I had to sit with myself, which is something that we'll talk about when we talk about self-love and self-care, when I sat with myself and just took a moment to kind of reflect and see what was going on, I noticed that I was sabotaging myself. So I decided to write about it because as I continued to reflect, I noticed that even though all of my clients were coming for anxiety, every one of them was sabotaging themselves in some way. And so that's kind of what made me write the book.
Okay, so let's talk about some of this book. Okay. I don't want you to give away the whole book. So I want y'all to get out, and y'all need to contact her. So she's going to give y'all her follow information. We're going to put it in the comments as normal. And I want y'all to support her. And if it's not even for you, maybe you know somebody who this book will help. I want y'all to support and get this book. Because this is touching on some things that I think a lot of people will benefit from.
Yes.
So, let's talk about, when you say 21 days, I've heard of, they say you form new habits. How many days is it?
21.
In 21 days, you can form a new habit.
Yeah.
You've heard people say you do things in 30 days or 45 days. I've done the 45 day. I do this once a year. I do a 45 day of change and reflection and movement for myself, where I take a stop and say nothing but positive things and really analyze whatever's going on around me and moving forward.
Definitely.
So, in 21 days, what are some of the things that you feel that people can implement and, do?
Anything. That's the beauty of 21 days. You can start or stop anything in 21 days. So part of the reason that I have the 21 days on there is because, as again, going back to clients and even myself, I noticed once we practiced the skills and got the skills down, it took about 21 days of continually doing that before it became habit. And by day 22, day 23, it was a second thought to just get up and do whatever it is. So we do it with exercise, we do it with detoxes, we do it with fasting and things like that. And so, again, why not apply it to mental health?
Right. Okay. Which, makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm looking at the back of her book, y'all. And on here, she says that she provides an overview of the top categories of sabotage her clients have experienced. Readers will gain the following: 21-day plan to implement new habits, education about sabotage and how it impacts you, activities to identify your negative self-talk that contributes to sabotage, and activities to challenge and change habits.
Definitely.
Now, one that stuck out to me was activities to identify your negative self-talk.
Yes.
What does that mean?
So, self-talk in general is the things that we say to ourselves. So the things that we say when we are talking ourselves in or out of things. That's self-talk. The negative self-talk is, girl, you're not good enough to do that. Why would you try to start this new plan on a Tuesday? You know you need to wait till Monday to start that. That's the negative self-talk. You're not good enough. You don't have the right amount of skills. So you just need to wait on that. So that's the negative self-talk that we identify, because we all kind of have something that we either say to hype ourselves to go do something or talk ourselves out of it. And so in the book, I start off with kind of an overview of what sabotage is. And then I talk about, again, the 3 categories, which I'll give them to you all, but I still want you to read it. It's perfectionism, so I need to be perfect. Not good enough, because I don't think I'm good enough, or someone's told me I'm not. And then imposter syndrome, which says I don't have enough skills. I don't have enough credentials. I don't have enough backing. I don't have enough to go out and speak on what I'm trying to speak on. And so I talk about how they'll show up, what they look like, and then there's activities for you to sit with yourself to see how that shows up in your life. And then we get into the work of changing it.
Okay. So now I have the question, because it just popped in my mind.
All right.
Yeah. So you're going to be used to sugar. I might flip her around. Do you basically say somebody purchases this book and they say, I need you to mentor me or work with me to better a specific behavior, or I am trying to take myself to another level in business, and some of what you spoke about in this book spoke to my spirit.
Yes.
You do take on
So
the one-on-ones?
So one of the things that I'm going to be rolling out this year is I'm going to have a private group on Facebook where we do this. And then if you need additional or you want one-on-one, I'm going to offer coaching. Because this does apply to business. So as I was writing this, it wasn't just for, you know, someone with mental illness or some type of mental health. This book was for anybody who has ever sabotaged themselves in any kind of way. So that's the beauty of this book. Yes, I'm a therapist. Yes, it's some behavioral things in there, but anybody can get something from it.
Okay. So, real quick, we're going to shout out our sponsors for tonight. A New Physique Body Contouring Studio, 8149 New LaGrange Road, Suite 201. They are offering body contouring services, teeth whitening, yoni steams, and more. It is B.O.B. So please get out there and shop. You can follow them at A New Physique Body Contouring Studio. And on Instagram, it is New Physique Contouring Studio. New Physique Contouring Studio on Instagram. So definitely go follow them. They always are running specials. Shout outs to them for being one of our local sponsors. Shouts out to Meeting the Ladies from Fantasy and Pepper Party series. Y'all, we 10 days away. 10 days away, ladies. From like the best ladies night ever. Like ever, y'all. Like this is gonna be an epic weekend. So ladies, definitely check out my page. Go check out the event wild Instagrams. Mo D has been posting the sexy eye candy for y'all. She gonna end up in Facebook jail. I'm just telling y'all, I'm not going back to jail for y'all. I love y'all, but I'm not going back to Facebook jail. So y'all not gonna get me to post. I'm not. But shout out to Mo D. We love you, homie. Keep posting the sexy eye candy and taking them risks. But yes, in 10 days, y'all, the 7-year anniversary of Meeting the Ladies from Fantasy and Pepper Party series is going down. Tickets are still for sale, and as a surprise, we threw some more tickets online for sale, and I'm gonna give away a ticket tonight. So please stay tuned. We definitely have got some things going on. So, ladies, I need y'all to pay attention to the conversation tonight. All right, so self-care, self-love. In your professional opinion, what does that mean?
So self-care, self-love. We'll start with self-care. So self-care is anything that refills you or refuels you. So that can be anything from hot showers to a glass of wine to a ladies' night where you're getting pampered to a vacation to spas. That can be anything that when you are empty and you can't do anymore, it refills you. Self-love is being able to be proactive enough to say, I have to do this for myself every day. I can't let my partner or my kids or my career get in the way of me taking care of me. Because if I'm empty, I'm not doing anything anyway. So that's where that self-love comes in. And that's a whole, how deep we want to go today.
Oh, we can go deep.
Because
where you want to go with this? I'm with it.
Self-love is something that I think, we need to start even younger with teaching our girls. To love yourself enough to not give up everything for your partner. Everything for your friend group. Everything for a movement that you don't have stake in. And I see a lot of women who are online arguing over people, or in private arguing over people, or being in situations that don't speak to love at all, just speak to being accepted or having somebody around. And so for me, and as I talk to clients or just anybody, self-love is literally about, how do I love myself enough to not go be in a mess? How do I love myself enough to not let somebody drag me somewhere I don't want to be or make me come out of my character?
Okay. All right. So I have a big thing that I've been working on, self-care, self-love personally for myself, and being very intentional about it. Mm-hmm. And I found for me, it's even something as simple as getting my pedicure done.
Yeah.
Keep getting my nails done. Make sure hair. Yanni steams, like, sorry. Giving myself yoni steams. Like I'm doing the body contouring twofold, partially for weight loss, but more for the health aspects that come with doing the laser lipo and the sauna steam detoxing, to help with whatever, you know, I've got going on. And I find myself talking myself out of going or doing these things because of whatever else is going on. What is it you would tell me to stop doing that?
What's your ultimate goal? And
To just take better care of myself.
How important is it to you?
Take better care of myself.
So how important is that to you? Is it more important than what the naysayers will say? Is it more important than what the neighbors are going to say?
Yeah.
Then there's nothing that gets in the way of that. And so every time that thought comes, that's what you want to go back to. Is, I hear you, negative self-talk, but my health, my well-being is way more important than what somebody might say. Because really, what can someone actually say? Oh, Daddy, look at her taking care of herself.
I think my problem is I'm always trying to take care of everybody else first. I'm always trying to make sure everybody and everything is situated and straight, so I never take the time out for myself.
Yep.
Until I'm not okay and I'm frustrated, it's like, okay, I have to take a moment for me.
Yeah. That's too late.
And that's my problem. Like, how do I stop from it being too late? Like, how do I get to the point?
How can you help if you're not full? How much help are you really giving to these people? How much are you really giving to yourself if there's nothing left?
Almost like the pouring the cup thing.
Yep. Or, when's the last time you were on an airplane?
February.
What did they say when they were doing the safety protocol? When they were going through the air mask?
Oh, you have to help you first before you help your neighbor?
Yep. Same thing. Same thing.
Well,
because if you don't have oxygen, you can't give anybody else life.
Didn't think of it that way. Huh.
Sometimes we complicate it, right? Like, it's really that simple. And it doesn't mean that we're always perfect and we got it together every time. It just means more times than not, we want to be putting ourselves first. Not in the terms of being selfish, but putting ourselves first to say, if I really want to be the mom that I aspire to be, I can't do that if I'm exhausted. And what are the things that are making me exhausted? And we have to go all the way to, what am I eating that makes me exhausted? What am I drinking that makes me exhausted? Because exhaustion is you know, you can't take care of somebody if you're tired. You just can't.
True. I didn't think about it that way. Okay.
So you have to go even to those levels of, like, everything that we put in needs to be for benefit. Okay. Even if the benefit is I'm having a self-care night, so I'm going to have these glasses of wine. That's allowed. That's okay.
Oh yeah, I believe in the wine, taking of the wines, and yeah, having that moment, absolutely.
Definitely.
That needs to happen.
That's part of being an adult, right?
I'm just saying, like,
we had to work to get to 21 for a reason.
I just feel like that you should partake in a little beverage every now and then.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah. Okay, so I guess my next question is going to be, earlier you mentioned some of the things that people can do. So vacations. There was a news article or a report that had came out talking about momcations. The study proved that they are better for our health and mental well-being. How do you feel about that?
I'll be honest, I'm torn on that one. Because everyone doesn't have the means to go on a beach vacation all the time. So it's nice if that's an option for you or something that you can do that's not going to, you know, break your budget or cause more stress later because you're missing things that you don't need to miss. I truly believe and teach people to find things they can do that don't cost. Because true self-care is about self. It doesn't necessarily mean like I'm spending excess money on myself. It's just, again, ways to refill yourself and ways to kind of recharge that battery. Okay. It could be with, financial things, but sometimes it's literally just peace and quiet, Okay. So, if you can, do a vacation.
Well, I mean, then too, it's so many factors into that. If you've got young kids, your job situation.
Right.
I'm
already stressed. I'm already stressed thinking about leaving work, leaving kids, paying for it all. That's not that's not self-care. Now it's another stress factor, another burden. So for me, I kind of steer away from those type of things being self-care.
Okay.
I think it excludes too many people.
Okay. So there, to me, has been a big flux about the self-care, self-love thing, or whatever other people may call it. I like calling it self-care, self-love. That's my thing for it. Where women are now getting more into fitness, healthier eating habits, having, as you said, the quiet time, going and pampering themselves. Do you see that growing or evolving in any way, or you just feel like it's a fad?
I hope that it stays, and I hope that it grows. But sometimes we are people of fads. So I think as long as our favorite celebrities are still talking about it, we'll do it. But my concern is we tend to follow celebrities and follow trends that they're setting. And so we don't always stay the course. But my hope is that enough of us will buy into truly believing that self-care is important and that physical health is important, so it does stay for a lifetime.
Okay, so let's get some specifics. You said things that women can do just for quiet time. So what would be a few of the things you may say a woman can do just to get, as my mama used to say, give me 30 minutes. And she would shut the door. I don't know what she did behind that door for 30 minutes, but she didn't. You couldn't talk to her. Don't knock on that door for 30 minutes.
That was her self-care.
Yeah.
That was her self-care.
Yeah. So what are some other things you can do, especially when, I guess, like if you have small children or you have a demanding job that you work long hours? Like, people have so many different scenarios now that it's not like it used to be. So there's nothing that's typical or stereotypical anymore. So what are some things that you would recommend?
So kind of my go-tos are, in terms of quiet time, for example, is looking for any moment that you are alone. So for me, for example, I own my own practice. So I'm at work, for whatever hours I've set for that day. And then when I get home, I go instantly into mom and wife mode. So I take that 15-minute drive home, and that's my quiet time. It doesn't mean that I don't have the radio on or anything like that. It's just literally my time to reflect on my day, to leave whatever I heard in those sessions there, and get ready to be mom or wife. The shower is also another time, because that's a time that you have alone. Using the bathroom in general. So going into the bathroom, if you take your phone, doing things on your phone that are refilling, not necessarily scrolling Facebook or scrolling Instagram, but like maybe it's a meditation that you're listening to on YouTube, or maybe you have an app on your phone that you're listening to that has a meditation, but something that's just giving you a moment to just focus on breathing, because that's ultimately what you want to do for self-care, is get them lungs open.
So like little mantras or little just inspiration, affirmation type stuff. What about journaling? Do you feel like that's helpful for people?
Journaling is very helpful for people because there's science behind the connection of the pen and paper. And so writing is definitely a great self-care tool. The thing that you have to make sure you are really intentional about is whatever you write on that paper, you leave it there. Because we have a habit of writing it out, but then we feel good for a minute, but then we go back to them thoughts and we pick them right back up, and then we carry it with us for the next 30 minutes. And so then it's not a helpful thing. So if you're going to write, make sure that you're taking that time and you're going to leave whatever you write on that paper.
Okay.
So those are some of my go-tos. Going for a walk, because getting your brain open, so left, right, anytime that you can get the left, right motion going, it instantly opens up your brain and helps you to regulate and let your thoughts be more clear.
Okay, so I'm I'm going to ask you another question, and I know it's going to seem so left field, but this question was proposed. It was a conversation I was having with someone in particular, so I'm pretty sure by now you know that I own a company that does basically lady night out events.
Mm-hmm.
Been doing it for 7 years here. And I had a lady that wanted to come. She wanted to invite her, it was a family member or something, and the family member said they didn't want to come. And she was like, I really want to come, but no, I can't get anyone to go with me. And it turned into a conversation that basically she felt like she wasn't allowed to have a girls' night out moment.
Okay.
That moment to herself. I found some women saying or pretty much feeling guilty for even thinking of going.
Mm-hmm.
There's women who have told me, oh, well, my man, he would have a problem with it, or nah, I can't do that, but a man goes to 7th Street.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can't go over there some days a week. What can women do to start breaking this stigma of guys can do it, but we can't, and that it's disrespectful to have these girls' night out, have fun, have some drink, eat, look at some eye candy, and then take your butt home. Like, to me, and that's the order it should go.
Okay.
You know, get dressed, look cute, feel good, smell good, have fun, have some drinks, and go home.
Yeah.
Why is there such a stigma to that? I mean, and I don't even care if it's you going out to a club,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to a party, a day, or anything. It's not got to be specifically what I do. But I just don't understand this whole feeling of it's going to cause problems, or I feel guilty for doing this, or...
Yeah. So, that's pretty loaded. It's loaded in the sense that there's so many layers that are in play for that situation that it's going to be hard to kind of answer it easily. So the easiest way probably I can answer it is we stereotypically and historically have this notion that women are pure and that sex is dirty, or anything related to sex is dirty. And alcohol plays into sex because that's what we have been taught. If you look at movies, you look at commercials, people have alcohol, they're instantly more promiscuous, they're doing all these things. So there's this notion that if women go do that, they're not pure anymore. It's okay for men, because men are supposed to, air quote, I'm supposed to go out and do these things. And I always used to ask, who are they doing it with if women aren't supposed to do it? Who are these men actually meeting up with? But so there's a notion that if you do that, then you're less clean. On top of, we have another issue of women who have put their men on a pedestal as their dad or as the authoritative figure in their life. And so you don't go against the authority. So you have to check in. It's the respectful thing to do if you have put your husband or your partner on this pedestal. Okay. So there's no short, easy way to break that other than for the women to really start sitting with themselves and start asking, what is it about this that I don't agree with?
So there goes that phrase, sitting with myself. I'm interested. I was going to come to that real soon. I'm interested in the sitting with myself.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
It means that you literally sit down or stand or lay, but you silence everything and observe what these thoughts really mean to you. What nerve are they hitting? So going back to the book, for perfectionists, it hits a nerve that I'll never reach this goal. So they won't start anything, they won't try anything fully because I won't be able to reach it. And so when you sit, you literally, like, when I was sitting to write this book, I was like, okay, Brittany, why can't you type this thing out? And then I sat there and let my mind kind of wander. And then all these thoughts flooded of, well, you're not good enough to do that because, you know, somebody told you years ago that you can't even read. Why would you do that? No one told me how to read. But that was the thing. You know, or you know, you don't read well is what they actually said. Or, you know, you don't have enough skills because only people who have doctorate degrees write books. So those are the thoughts that I started noticing that were coming up for me during my process. And then when I started talking to clients, that's always what we spend time on, is what is that negative voice saying that tells you no when you can go do. And so women have to sit in and answer that question too. What is this voice in me that says I can't? What is it that I don't feel right about when it comes to going to a ladies' night party? Most often it links right back to sex, because we have this thing that sex is dirty. Sex is bad. Especially if you grew up in church.
Ooh, well, my bad, y'all.
Go enjoy the party. Turn that brain off for a night. Just turn it off for a night.
I'm just gonna say, what happens at meeting in the ladies' room stays at meeting in the ladies' room.
Enjoy yourself.
That's all I can say about that part. But I feel like everybody's grown, and I guess to talk on or turn to about what you're saying about the stigma on sex and women. We've had that conversation. We have a series we call Bedroom Madness. And we're actually doing a workshop on it, so we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
I might have to bring you in on this.
All right.
We were talking about why is it that grown folk, you've been out here hunching and doing the most. Why are y'all scared to talk about sex? Why do y'all act like sex is not a natural thing, and that whatever you do in your bedroom is okay to be doing in your bedroom? What is the problem with spicing it up? What is the problem with trying new things? As long as it's consensual and safe, it should not matter. I personally, about to be 39 years old, I do not understand the concept. Now, yeah, I was raised in the church. I grew up with my parents who have been together since freaking high school. Like,
so let me ask you that. Let me ask you a question for a second. What were the messages that you heard at church as a young girl about sex in your body? And
wait till marriage. That was it.
Yep. Wait till marriage. Wait till marriage. Wait till marriage. No
That
one ever
didn't
really
work out.
talked about the joys of sex. I can remember growing up and only hearing about how you were wrong if you did it before marriage. And then when I got married, nobody then turned around and was like, now let me tell you all about sex. So for a lot of women that I've worked with, once they get married or they get in a committed relationship, they struggle in the bedroom because they still haven't made sense of this isn't really dirty. Because they just tell you that you're sinning if you have sex before you're married, all these things that are negative. Nobody ever really talks about the ins and outs.
If you have babies out of wedlock, and
you can't do things in the church anymore, but no one talks about how sex feels good.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Do you feel that's only in our community, or that's just a human thing?
That's a human thing. That's an American thing. Because if you look at other countries, they openly talk about sex. There are very little stigmas.
So in other words, I'm living in the wrong country.
No, because I have lots of colleagues across the United States that they're sexologists. So
we have a favorite sexologist who lives in Indianapolis now, Miss J. Watts. She owns Happy Hour Intimate Essentials, so she's a vendor of ours.
Okay.
She's actually helping host our Bedroom Sexy Madness class next weekend. And so, like I said, we had these conversations, but once again, I guess my thing is I don't understand. Once you get grown, and there's all these.
But what's grown?
I feel grown is when you pay your own bills. You got kids.
That's the physical. That's the emotional grown, though.
You learn that everything ain't what you know, I guess. Or
it is, but does everybody
okay.
get that?
I don't know.
Everybody doesn't get
I'm
that.
trying to get y'all to make me understand. So maybe I could be more sympathetic. I feel like I'm not real sympathetic about
I
it.
think that you have to be. Because we need someone that is going to be okay with shouting to the rooftops like, no, it's okay. It's okay to enjoy sex. It's okay to be sexy. It's okay.
You're right. I feel like every woman deserves orgasms.
Definitely.
All the time. Absolutely.
Number one stress reliever.
I feel like we all deserve them and definitely should go down. We got any comments, anything, nothing? Good? Okay. So, I don't know. I feel like it shouldn't be dirty. I feel like it's a natural part of life. We were put here to procreate. To procreate, you gotta have sex.
Definitely.
And I feel like women should enjoy it as much as the men enjoy it. And
I don't know that all the men enjoy it. Let's just be real.
ooh,
I think people just do it because it's a thing you do. I don't know that all men enjoy it. I don't know that all men even know how to. There's not very many lessons, right? Like there's not classes to teach you how to please, how to do until you are opening yourself up to being willing to talk about it.
or going somewhere.
Or going
to somebody. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that. Huh. We need to have a panel about this.
Possibly. Might have a whole lot of people clenching pearls. We're going to have to provide we got to provide pearls.
Well, all I'm gonna say, y'all know me in the ladies' room. We don't hold no bars, no tongue about nothing. So all I'm gonna say is I'm gonna work on it.
Yeah.
Because I never thought of it that way. That's a good question. We're gonna have a show about this. I need a couple guys to volunteer. And at least a couple girls. We're gonna have a whole show. We can even do, I don't care where we ain't gotta do it here, we'll do it somewhere. We're gonna have a show about if men actually understand and know about pleasure and how to enjoy sex. That is like the most interesting thought.
Yeah. I don't have evidence that they do.
And
then
sex
they-
is
and
just
then
something people just do because it's something to do.
Well, and because you're supposed to procreate. And then if that's the case, then you have another layer of men adding that onto women. Because if I come to you as you know, my husband or my partner, and I'm like, hey, I want you to start doing X, Y, and Z. If the man has negative thoughts around it, or you know, is unsure, doesn't know what to do, then he's gonna shun that, and then the woman's gonna walk away feeling even more guilty and feeling even more dirty for even bringing it up because oh man, men are supposed to be the be all know all of that.
Oh, we definitely gonna have to continue this conversation because that's some good little points right there. You definitely need to be on the bedroom. Yeah. Okay. So let's get back to the topic.
All right.
So self-love, self-care. Which orgasms is self-care and self-love? I don't care what nobody say.
Definitely.
I'm sorry. I'm just going.
It's a part of it.
I'm gonna put it out there. I feel like that's a part of self-care, self-love. I feel like if you don't have orgasms, have sex, you pent up, you build up, you're stressed out, anxiety, like that is like the most relaxing. Like think about it. After you have sex, you ain't happy with Jesus alone. You ain't walking around skipping, smiling, and glowing just because Jesus was on your mind that morning. Which is a good thing to have Jesus on your mind the next morning, but I'm just saying, that glow ain't just because of him alone, y'all.
Definitely.
I'm just saying, if you think about it, you know, hadn't had nothing, then you got your son, and how you felt that next day, next couple days.
Yeah.
Your whole attitude shifted, the whole night. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So even linking that to self-love, if I don't love myself, then I can't be vulnerable in that space either, though.
Well,
because self-love comes with some form of self-acceptance as well. Mm-hmm. And we, especially black women, we have this added pressure that our bodies aren't right, aren't enough, aren't good. And so when you start adding that into the mix as well, it becomes a whole new layer of, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing more than I need to because I don't want him to see me that way. I don't want anyone to know that I got extra rolls or whatever might be going on. So that's a whole nother level into.
They loving big girls, y'all.
They do. But you gotta love you.
But she just said.
At all, whatever size you are.
Hashtag loving me first is a real thing, y'all.
Definitely.
That's a real thing. So, oh, ladies, we got to get it together. But, so, my tip of the day for some self-care, self-love, and this is one of my favorite tips I give people. Go to the Dollar Tree. Get 2 little dish pan bowl, little squares. Get some Epsom salt. Some of the little smell good little soap. And a bottle of mouthwash. You're going to fill it with hot water. Put a cap full of everything in there.
Okay.
And sit your feet in that water until it's cold.
I love it. I love
One
it.
of my favorite tips, something you can do at home cheaply, once a week.
Yep.
And it's to what you call quiet time or
Yep.
distress time.
I love it.
Soak your feet.
Love it.
Your own miniature pedicure without the polish and all of that. Because
Right.
I personally, I don't do feet, y'all. If y'all didn't notice, I don't do feet. Real talk, I don't even want to touch my own feet. But I will do that.
Okay, that's interesting.
Girl,
What's your feet?
Feet are nasty, y'all.
Okay.
I'm sorry. That your feet go across and things, I just don't.
And shoes, though.
I don't care.
That belong to you.
No.
Okay. I'll
Don't
let you
touch
have
me
it.
with your feet. I don't want my feet touching you. That's
Okay.
that's like my no-go. That's my hard pass.
I'm
Like,
with you.
That's my, like, for real hard pass. Like,
Definitely.
so we had a conversation asking what you down for, that in the bedroom, absolutely not. Don't do it. You would get kicked in the face, and probably somewhere else. 'Cause I got big feet, and they gonna get the fly. Oh no.
Okay.
Woo, no.
We can all have our thing.
I think everybody has a thing.
They do.
And then you got people who have fetishes, which is, there's nothing wrong with
Yeah,
that. But I
yeah.
just, the feet thing, I'm like, but I found that soaking your feet, and just, it gives you that, I don't know,
Yeah,
like I
it's
can still
relaxing.
sit there and be working
Mm-hmm.
from my phone or my laptop,
Yeah.
but it just is calming and relaxing, and it's a cheap little something you can do. And I mean, the little supplies last quite a while.
Definitely.
So, Dollar Tree, y'all. That's my tip.
That's a nice tip.
So what's your tip?
So let's see, my tip. Interesting. So my tip is to put your favorite song on and scream sing it. That's my tip. Anyone who's ever heard me talk about self-care knows that that is my go-to self-care move.
Favorite song is Scream Sing It, y'all.
Yep.
She didn't say hold a regular concert.
Nope. I
She
want you to
said
scream sing it.
sing.
Like you are trying to get your favorite artist to hear you from the balcony, and they're on the stage with a full band. I want you to scream sing it. Because doing that does multiple things. First, it kind of takes away that stress. It forces your brain to open because it forces you to breathe. Because in order to scream, you've got to get a deep breath. And then it takes away the rigidness that we tend to have when we're out in the professional world. Because you got to be buttoned up, right? So doing that takes away all of that because it's kind of embarrassing if somebody drives next to you and sees you doing that. But the whole goal is to take all that off for at least 3 minutes, which is how long the song is.
Scream Sing, y'all.
Scream sing. I'm gonna do it on my way home tonight.
I'm gonna try that. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna try that. Alright, y'all. So once again, our sponsors for tonight is a new physique body contouring studio located at 8149 New LaGrange Road, Suite 201. Meeting in the Ladies Room Fantasy and Pepper Party series. Our weekend, I think our assistant has a flyer over there. It's coming up. Studio assistant, can you show them the flyer for us real quick? We are June 21st through the 23rd. We are having multiple events, so definitely check it out. And Candy Brews, y'all. I need to shout out Candy Brews. Candy Brews is making things happen up here at the studio. So, quick announcement: Candy Brews. There's a 3 for $25 sale starting today. So if you watch the show, you know you can get some Candy Brews 3 for $25. So 3 pints for $25, and I think we might even have some half pints. So 6 half pints for $30. So that is the deal going on for this weekend. And then also, if you are watching this show and you want to come to the Fantasy and Pepper Party show, I need you to inbox me MILR Radio to receive a discount on a ticket. You will have to purchase the ticket by Friday now. But for those watching the show today, I am going to give you a discount. If you inbox me the words MILR Radio, and you will receive a discount on tickets to the Magnificent 7 Rodeo All-Male Review Weekend. So definitely inbox me, ladies. Miss Brittany.
All right.
I appreciate you coming
Thank you
on
for
and
having
giving
me.
some of these great old tips. So real quick, I want you to tell people how to find you on social media.
Yes, definitely. So follow me on Facebook or Instagram at Brittany A. Johnson LMHC. That's my full name with LMHC at the end on Instagram and Facebook. If you want to purchase my book, it is available on my website, which again is my name, Brittany A. Johnson, LMHC.com, or on Amazon. So you can get it either way.
She's on Amazon.
Also on Amazon. Also, there's a Kindle version on Amazon, and it's also on Barnes and Nobles as for Nook. So you can get this book in multiple ways. So get the book. Let me know what you think about it. Leave me a review. Send me a comment. If you have any questions, I'm always available. But yep.
Okay, and so for those in the back of the room that don't know what LMHC means,
Sorry about that. Licensed mental health counselor.
she got credentials. y'all.
Credentials,
She got credentials.
not just talk.
Diva talk, y'all. Hey, I'm with it. All right, y'all. So we'll put her information in the comments. How y'all can get the book. Definitely check it out. You got questions. You're interested in conducting one-on-one workshops or counseling or anything with her. And she says she does help with businesses. If you're trying to help yourself with your business and take it to another level on and trying to get yourself together for it,
Give me a ring.
she's the person to talk about it.
I also do workshops and other speaking engagements. So all of that is on my website.
Yeah. Right here in Louisville.
I'm here.
We got somebody. And she's across the bridge too. She's got an office in New Albany.
Definitely.
So she's accessible, y'all. All right. So once again, if you are looking to go to the show next weekend, MILR Radio, inbox it to me for your discount code. Next week, we will be talking all things Meeting in the Ladies Room Fantasy and Pepper Party series. We're going to have Diva Talk, Sexy Eye Candy, giveaways, lots of stuff going on. You might catch me out this weekend. I might give away some tickets. Y'all never know. Might give away some merchandise. So definitely come and speak if you see me out somewhere. I love talking to people. Y'all know me, I'm goofy. But once again, thank you, Miss Brittany, for coming.
You.
Next month, we're going to talk about this again, y'all. We're going to get some more people to come in. We're going to talk. And we're going to keep talking about this.
Definitely. July is Minority Mental Health Month. So
I didn't even know that.
I know. I want to make sure we spread the word. I'm working with a few different therapists in the city. We're going to try to get a list out of events and things that people are doing, other therapists in the city, because there's several black therapists in the city of Louisville who are all trying to be in front, be with the community help. So follow my pages, because I definitely will be doing several things throughout the month of July.
I feel like I need to dedicate one of my show nights to having y'all do a live remote panel. I just,
Sounds
in
like
my
a plan.
spirit, just
Come on.
telling me
Let's
we
do
need
it.
to do that. So July is
Minority Mental Health.
Minority Mental Health.
That's us,
Month.
y'all.
I didn't know that, but we gonna participate. Y'all know we are all about that. So thank y'all for tuning in. Definitely stay tuned for whatever's going on. Check out my page for any updates, events, giveaways, discounts, whatever we got going on. And once again, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in to Meeting in the Ladies Room KY Radio on Power 106 FM Radio, the K Heart Media LLC. Check out our website, our apps, download, listen to our station. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. And I believe that is all we got for tonight. I will talk to y'all later.